from the studios of Blackwater Media in the city of Atlanta. It is Dr. William Lester, and I just wanted to talk with everyone and thank everyone who has been listening to all of our programming here on the Blackwater Media YouTube channel. Of course, you know that we produce the Shadowland Radio Show, the Historian's Almanac, and the Dr. William Lester Show. So I wanted to come on and just take a little time to let you know that we have something very new and very exciting coming up. We've already kind of rolled this out in the social media. We've put some information out on Twitter. We've certainly put it out on Facebook. But I wanted to just come on and share this with you personally. We are going to be rolling out a new show on the Blackwater Media YouTube channel. The show is called the Nightfall Radio Show, and it's going to just, I think, add to the wonderfully eclectic mix of programming that we already have. And I think this will just give a new, fun, interesting dynamic to our channel. So I want to just go over some details about it and let everybody know. I've already had a couple of inquiries, and so I want to lay down some specifics, and so those people who want to get involved and so they can just come on board. So basically, what's going to happen on the Nightfall Radio Show is that we're going to be presenting horror fiction and also horror poetry, dark poetry, and as well as horror art. So this is going to be like our horror fest on this new program. So what are we talking about? We're talking about short stories, original short stories in the horror genre. We're talking about great dark poetry, horror poetry. We're talking about great horror art. So, how does one submit material to the show? It's very simple. And we will be flashing up the submission guidelines on this video as we go along. So, we want to do horror fiction short stories with a 5,000 word limit. We really have to cut it off there because then it just gets into a time factor, which makes it kind of prohibitive to put the programs out in a reasonable and timely fashion. Of course, like I said, horror or dark poetry and horror art. So with the art, what we need submitters to do is make sure that they submit that art in the JPEG format. So that can be kind of easily and seamlessly integrated into the production process of the show. Now, I talk about horror short stories. And of course, you writers out there, you great horror writers, I want to maximize your creativity, of course. But we all like what we like. And so, to be honest with you, so preference is going to be given to my concept of traditional horror themes. And I'm talking about, your gothic horror. Maybe you have some Lovecraftian style things, some Edgar Allan Poe style things, some Stoker type things, vampires, ghosts, demons, goblins, ghouls, werewolves, mad scientists, and things of that nature. The traditional classic horror themes, and they're going to get preferential treatment. Now, does that mean if someone submits an outstanding story that doesn't necessarily fall into those parameters, that we're not going to look at that? No, because what we're going to look for, along with these themes, of course, is quality. So as long as it's a quality story, or a well-written story, it's going to be looked at. Okay, and so these stories will be presented, in a narration type form, and I'll be presenting these stories, and there will be some, of course, even over and above what artists submit, there will be additional artwork, kind of collated into the production, just to give it that added visual quality. But what we need you to do is, when you do submit, please provide a brief bio of yourself with your submission, because we absolutely want to make sure that our artists and writers are receiving all of their due credit for the material that they create. And as you've seen on the screen, I think it's flashed by, you can email submissions to me, and it's scholar, SCHOLARWM, scholar WM at AOL.com. So you just send those submissions. Usually, if you're going to do the poetry and the fiction, it would be great, just put it in a Word document. Let's try to keep it simple. You can single space. You don't need to double space it. But just put it in a Word document and just email it off. And, of course, when I receive your material, I will give you or send you back an acknowledging email, and we'll just kind of go from there. And let's see what's out there. I know that there's some very good horror writers out there. It's open to anybody within the sound of my voice, anybody who can access the internet, whether it's nationwide or globally. We want the Nightfall Radio Show to be open to all and enjoyed by all. Remember, as you're listening, the mantra here is like, share, and subscribe. So, let's start spreading the word. And for you writers and you poets and you artists, you may begin submitting your material at your earliest convenience. We are open for submissions now. Maybe you have something pre-existing that you'd like to submit. Maybe you are interested in creating something exclusively for the show. That will be fine. But I wanted to come on and just kind of roll this out for you, and to expect that. I don't know. I do have a story from a writer that I would like to go into production with. I'm not exactly sure how long it will take me to get it all done and to get it all out, but I'm hoping that this is something that can be done by the time we get into the Christmas holidays too deeply. So I'm going to be working on the production of that particular story, which you will absolutely love. So again, the Nightfall Radio Show, which is going to feature the finest quality horror fiction, poetry, and art. Let the fiction and the poetry be in a Word program. Let your art be in a JPEG format. Traditional horror themes. Please include your bio and just email it to me at scholarwm@aol.com. And I'm really excited about this, and I thank you for a little bit of your time letting me roll this out to you. So, from the studios of Blackwater Media here in Atlanta, I am Dr. William Lester saying I will see you guys next time.